Hey there, replay viewers. This is Tim David, the packaging and promotional magician for speakers who want to earn five-figure checks per gig in the business world, the business speaking world for business audiences. Hey, listen, the goal to doing that, the path to doing that is by being a peer and not a pest. So positioning and packaging yourself alongside of those people who book those high fee gigs is the secret. You don't want to be chasing gigs. You don't want to be going out and getting the gigs. You want to be positioning yourself. And certainly prospecting and all those things are important, but there are ways to do it, people. And one of the things that drives me nuts about people's marketing is the term perceived value. You've got to deliver perceived value, right? You've got to have something that is of high perceived value. Can we stop it, please, with the perceived value? That makes me think, and it might make you think, that you can take something cheap that is not valuable, dress it up, and make it look like it's valuable. In other words, make people perceive its value like you're some kind of illusionist and creating fake value instead of genuine, real value. Now, because I'm sort of this packaging magician, right? This packaging and promotional magician for speakers, I understand the value of creating the packaging. I understand the value and the importance of not just having a great speech, but having a great speech title, having a great speech description, having a great way that you Venn diagram your topic with the important topics of in the client's minds. So all of that packaging stuff, very, very important. But when we are creating the value, when we are thinking about, okay, what am I going to give them in exchange for their email address, for example? We all know building an email list is very important. So you want to have something that you can give to them in order to build that email list. It's called a magnet, right? An email magnet. So it attracts people to you. Now, when we're creating those things, and I'm going to give you a couple of examples of ones that I've created, we want to create them high value, not high perceived value, but high value first, and then we can go back and look at how that value is perceived. But if we're sitting there thinking, how can I take something that's cheap and make it high perceived value? We're shooting ourselves in the foot. Now, this doesn't mean that it has to be expensive for you to deliver, and I think that is where that term perceived value comes from. Not expensive for you to deliver necessarily, right? But when you do deliver it, it is of real value and not just perceived value. That's my rant for you today. That is the absolute biggest, pet peeve of mine when people talk about their giveaways on their website and this and that. Now, here are the examples. One, nextstagesummit.com, you'll see I give away the first day. Now, the first day, some would argue, is the best day. So we sort of put our best foot forward here. David Newman, James Malinchak, right? Sean Ellis, the International Association of Speakers Bureau board member, former board member, I believe. He runs the Speakers Bureau. He's a speaker himself. He's got his finger on the pulse for almost 2 decades. I think more than 2 decades now. And what a great resource he is. Jeff Shore, 7 figures plus during 2020 when most speakers were sitting there and complaining. What a great resource. So that's free. That's hours and hours of valuable insight and information for free. That's an example of not just high perceived value, but actually high value, right? Actually high value. Do you know what James Malinchak charges for an hour, for example? You know what David Newman charges for his advice? This is not low value stuff dressed up as high perceived value. Real value, people. Come on, you got to deliver real value. The second thing is getspeakinggigs.com. You'll see what we give away there. It's a 5-day free course, and it's a list of people who will hire you right now to speak. It's the path to stages and screens to get your message out there. And it's not perceived value. I mean, I worked hard on this stuff, and it's real value. Compiling that list alone of 44 different organizations who will hire you to speak sight unseen, there's value in that alone. So when you are creating your giveaways, and I highly, highly recommend that you do, make sure that they are high value and not just high perceived value. Checklists, lists like my list of clients who will hire you, tools, resources, links to, website directories. All of these things are high value and not just perceived value. Now, here's the other takeaway here. Here's what else you can create. We call it, in the Get Speaking Gigs world, a manifesto. In fact, I may have to put the pause button here. This might be a whole separate video of exactly how we create the marketing, the manifestos that we use in our marketing that are high value and high perceived value. But that is another topic for another day. So we're going to go ahead and end this broadcast with the same two words that we always do. And those two words are speak soon.